Hi friends, so I have these PDFs that I usually print out for my students, and we usually mark them up and annotate them together, and then we usually answer questions on pages that look like this that usually have lines that my students write in. So what I've done is I've taken these PDFs and I've made them editable on Google Slides so that we can annotate this way using clear boxes, kind of like highlighting, so that the students can outline those really important elements. They can also put circle highlights around their vocabulary words in here, their power words, as I read together with them. And then they have these red boxes that I say I want them to make comments in, like, wow, who knew this, on their assignments. And they can take these boxes and kind of drag them wherever they need to drag them. So I'm going to show you how to make these editable Google Slides from PDFs that you already have on your computer. So the first thing that you're going to do is that you are going to make a new presentation. So go to your slides icon and click new. It's going to show up as an untitled presentation right here. The great thing about Slides is that it is not just a presentation tool. Slides is actually probably my top Google app. I use it for everything. I don't even use Docs anymore because Docs is so limited. Google Slides lets you layer and add things on top and move things all over and add images. And Docs is strictly for word processing. It's a lot more stringent. So what you're going to do is I always take my presentation and I change it to an 8.5 by 11 size sheet of paper, a regular sheet of paper. So what you're going to do is go to File, go to Page Setup, and then you're going to change it from widescreen to custom. And you can either do it portrait or landscape. Portrait is 8.5 by 11. Obviously, landscape would be 11 by 8.5. So this is what your page is going to look like now. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to find your PDF. Mine are PDFs about ancient Rome, and I purchased this off of TPT from Student Savvy. I love it. And we usually take these annotation pages and we highlight them, and it's usually awesome and a really fun activity in class. But we can still do this at home in distance learning. So this week we are on Roman law and its influences. I am using Preview to preview my PDFs because I am on a Mac and this is my default, but you can also do a lot of these similar things in Adobe, which is the default for most PCs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I can see all of my thumbnails by clicking this icon in the top corner. And then I'm going to click from continuous roll, I'm going to click on single pages. Now, what you can do when you have single pages is that you're going to be able to screenshot your image right here. Now, you can also duplicate this entire document. If you want this to be like a higher resolution, higher quality, you can duplicate everything. So if you're going to screenshot, let's go back, you're going to hit Shift Command 4 and you are going to screenshot your entire image. And if you are going to choose that route, then you are ready to move on to the Google Slides step. But if you want it to be a little bit higher resolution, you're going to duplicate your entire document. And then you're going to go through and delete, click delete, the pages that you don't need anymore. Now I'm going to highlight a lot of them at once by hitting Command and scroll. Now by doing this, I'm going to show you that you're going to save your activity as a PNG. You're going to save it as a PNG instead of as a PDF. You cannot download PDFs or put PDFs into the background of Google Slides because it's a document, and Google Slides does not let you put in a document. So it only lets you put in images. So I just made my, I'm going to close my PDF here. I just made my smaller PDF just with my Roman law and its influences. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to, I just want this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select and I'm going to actually delete the rest because I don't need it anymore. I am going to duplicate it really quick again so that I have a little extra one later. All right, so I only want this page. So I'm just going to delete all of these other pages so that I don't need them anymore. Okay, and then I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Export, and I'm going to export this Roman law page, not as a PDF, but as a PNG. You can also export it as a JPEG, and that will allow you to drag and drop your images into slides. So I'm going to save it as a PNG. It's going to save to my desktop. And now I'm ready to put it into Google Slides. Now you're going to do the same thing for every page that you need. So now that I'm ready, I'm going to hit background, and I'm going to choose my image, and I am going to choose my PNG from my desktop where I had my things before. All right, so you're going to choose your image one more time. You're going to upload. You're going to hit done. And then it's going to show up right here in just a minute. Now, in order to make these annotation boxes, what you can do is I'm going to copy and paste them because I already have them. Now, the other beauty of Google Slides is that this stuff over here is workroom where the students can see it, but it's not actually on the page. So I like to put like a workspace over here so that the students can see this workspace, but it's not on their work. Now, to make these boxes, all you have to do is create a shape. All right, I chose squares. All right, when you create your shape, you can change the color of it. I chose green. All right, and I liked a green outline. Now you can type in it by double clicking and typing. Now, if you want to make these shapes, you can make them transparent by clicking on the fill color, going to custom, hitting the plus sign, and then playing around with this transparency button on the bottom. Closer to here means super transparent, clear. Closer to here means all the way filled in. So I choose this transparency button, and then what I do is I copy and I paste, and I copy and I paste, and then I just put them kind of on top of each other. Now, when you put something in as a background, notice that I cannot move it around. The kids can't delete it. They can't mess it up. They can't really do anything on it aside from what I just showed them how to do. Now, when you're ready, if you want to make more pages, you just hit this little plus sign in the top corner. I like to delete my text boxes. And then now I'm going to go back to my ancient Rome annotations. And I want my questions page that my students and I are going to work on. So this is my questions page. I deleted all those extra pages that I didn't need. Remember, I made a duplicate so that I'm not actually erasing my true PDF document. You don't want to erase things. All right, and then I'm going to go to File. Of course, you can screenshot. That is a shortcut and easy way, but the resolution's always a teeny bit fuzzy, so I like to export, and I'm going to export it to a PNG like I said before. I've played with JPEG. It doesn't work all the time. PNG has never failed me. So I'm going to save it as a PNG. It's going to save onto my desktop right here. And then I'm going to be able to play around with it. Now, once I have done that, I'm going to go back to my Google slide. Okay, remember I have one page that looks like this, and now I'm going to add in a background for this second page. I'm going to choose image, and I'm going to drag and drop my annotations question page into the background of my page. Now my students can't move it, they can't play around with it. Now I want them to be able to write in these areas, so I'm going to add a text box, and I'm going to make it the same size as these writings. Now, text boxes are automatically transparent, which means if you type, it's going to show what's in the background. I don't want to be able to see those lines anymore. I don't need them. They're not important. So I'm going to change the fill image of my text box. I'm going to make it white. Now, if you wanted to, you could, of course, make it something like yellow so that they know they have to write in there. But I am just going to go with white. I'm going to make sure I have the size and the font that I want. And I'm going to tell the students to type your answers here. Okay, now I'm going to make it bold. I'm also going to make my text color red. Okay, and then shortcut, I'm going to hit Command C or edit copy. I'm going to go over here, Command V or edit paste. And now I've created text boxes that my students can write in and type in. Of course, it went over this little image here, but you win some, you lose some. Of course, you're going to finish by naming your document. You're going to import it to Google Classroom. You're going to click Make a Copy for Every Student. And then your kids are going to love it because they can write all over these documents that they're really used to seeing in class. So good luck.